Namaste, welcome to, this is a boot camp class. You can do this any day of the week. We're going to double up on some of the postures, the directions of the hips, and really target the hip joints, the spine, shoulders, feet, and all the joints of the body. So we're going to start laying on the blocks. Put a block sideways for your back, put a block straight up and down for your head, and then gently lay back. We're going to open up the chest first and do our breathing here. So let the head rest against the block. The block behind your chest is really starting to open up the chest muscles, the pectoral muscles, and the thoracic spine of your upper back. So make sure you're relatively comfortable so you can find stillness here. Let your feet fall open to the sky, and just let your arms drop by your sides. You could also bring your arms to a T if that feels. And then let's just become still here for a couple of minutes. Noticing your breath by your nose. We want to tune into our breathing. This is our Anapana meditation where you just focus on the breath as it flows in and out through the nostrils. And feel the sensation that it creates below the nose. Just notice that it creates a sensation there. And then let your forehead relax, let your eyes drop back. And then swallow to relax the throat, letting your teeth part. So relaxing the jaws. Good, let your chest and stomach get soft. Let your hips and legs get heavy. And feel the ground beneath your arms, your hands. And come back up to the nose where the breath is flowing. Let's just stay here for a moment, fine-tuning our dharana, our concentration. So let the thoughts start to move into the background of your awareness. Just be aware of the breath now, going in and out through the nose. Good. Let the thoughts just go. They're going to stream through the mind. Eventually they'll slow down. So see if you can just witness your thinking right now and let the thoughts pass by. So we're going to start some pranayama. Dirga pranayama. It's a 3-part simple practice here for our Yin Yoga class. So keeping your belly soft, start to breathe low into your belly, let it expand. Breathe out gently, pull the belly muscles back. And then just continue like that as we begin to purify the air in the lungs, especially the lower lungs. Breathing in, expanding your belly, breathing out, relaxing and contracting your belly. Just soft movements here. Good. Now let's take it to the rib cage. Feel your ribs stretch as you inhale. As you exhale, relax. Continue like that. Stretching your intercostal muscles between the rib bones. Really waking up the Manipura chakra, that personal power center in the solar plexus area of your body. Good. Stretching on the inhale, expanding. Exhale, relax. And then let's take it up to the chest. Feel the chest rise and fall with your inhales and exhales, opening up the heart center, 4th chakra, Anahata. Love and compassion for yourself today. Let yourself be where you are as you are. Yata Bhuta, as you are. Practicing radical acceptance. Now let's put it together. Let's fill the lungs, belly, ribs, and chest, pausing. Empty the lungs, chest, ribs, belly draws back, and pause. Now find a rhythm that feels comfortable for you, and then just keep going like that, nice and slow and steady. So finding a rhythm where you can pause at the top and pause at the bottom, comfortably. Good. Now stretch the arms straight up to the sky and back over your head. Just let the arms hang. You can bend and hold opposite elbows, or maybe hold a finger or a thumb. What feels good? Holding your wrist. Maybe the hands are not touching. So you're going to do what feels good today. Tune into your intuition. That inner knowingness we all have. A few more breaths. Keep your breath going. Let it change as the positions change today. Then we're going to slide the feet flat. Let the knees fall to the right and just roll off the blocks into fetal position on the right side. And then just rest there for a moment. Feel the earth below. We're going to get grounded through this practice of Yin Yoga. Now rise up, use your hands. We're going to come right into butterfly pose. So put the bottoms of your feet together in front of you. And then you can take the flesh of your bum and kind of pull it back a little bit. So you're sitting up straight with a flat back. And then let your ribs come forward, your stomach, not necessarily your shoulders or chest. Have your blocks handy. You can grab them from behind you and put them between the legs. And wherever your body stops naturally, just prop yourself there using the props, using the blocks. And you can let your head hang, or you can put another block underneath the forehead if you prefer. So I want you to go to the place where your body starts to push back. That's your edge. That's sweet discomfort. And that's where you get the benefits. So where does my body stop naturally? I'm going to prop myself there. And then breathe. And stay here for 3 minutes and get a nice forward fold after the 3-minute back bend we were just in. And really work on focusing on your body and breath and letting everything else go. And really just spending time, precious time with yourself right now. Okay, that's the first minute already. We have 2 to go. So we just want to relax in our poses in this practice. And that's where the magic happens. It's when we let go and relax. We're still going to feel something that's going to keep our attention focused on what we're doing. But we don't want it so strong that we can't breathe softly, that we can't relax the muscle, and we can't stay focused. So sometimes if it's too strong, the mind will go towards criticism or resistance. So just be aware, just watch your thoughts here. Good, 1 more minute left. You can let your head hang too if that feels nice on the neck, maybe letting the head rock side to side or up and down, or just letting it hang still. Now remember, there's no pulling in this class. We're just hanging in these poses. For 30 more seconds. Keep breathing. And if you can't breathe, that's a clear sign you're too far in the pose. All right, now we're going to roll up Come to seated meditation for a moment and just notice how you feel after those two postures. Roll the shoulders backwards a little bit. Good. Relax your shoulder joints. Good. Pull your chest forward. So the chest comes forward, shoulder blades flatten on your back, and then place the hands together in Anjali Mudra, the hand position of Namaste. Close your eyes and set an intention for today's practice. And there's no right or wrong here. Just ask for something that you need or want. And then say thank you for it. Hands to the forehead to touch. Remember, thoughts of either, they're not who you are. Just watch. Be the witness to your thinking. And then bring the hands back to the heart center. And let's do a soft, sweet Om together. Breathe in. Om. All right, let's take our blocks. We're going to lay back on the mat. And then in the supine position, put your feet flat. We're going to go into bridge pose, but then we're going to use the block for a prop. So squeeze your bum, lift your hips up as high as they can get, and then place the block. It can be flat, sideways, or straight up and down, but please make sure it's under your sacrum. So the sacrum is above your bum, but below the lower back. So it should feel like a nice flat surface to sit against. All right, knees over ankles, feet are facing forward, arms by your sides, whichever direction, palms feel good. And then let your body acclimate to this shape. We're just getting a nice lower back stretch, lengthening here. Second back bend of the class already. So breathe. This one targets the lower back. First back bend targeted the upper back. Now take those breaths, filling bottom to top if you can, emptying top to bottom. It's always going to be a little different in each pose. Concentrate, meditate on your body and breath. Let the thoughts go. Now if you're pretty comfortable, left foot nice and flat, slowly lift the right leg straight up into the air. Roll your ankle in circles, point and flex, just whatever feels good for your leg and your foot. And then place that right foot back down. Make sure it's secure. And then lift the left leg up slowly. And then do the same thing. Roll your ankle around. Point and flex. You might hear some snap, crackle, pop as the gases that are trapped in the joint tissue start to release. Beautiful. Put both feet back on the ground now securely. Squeeze your bum. Lift your hips, take the block out, and hold this pose for a few moments. Palms down. Push into your shoulders and hands. Push down into your feet. And breathe. Good. Now let the shoulders be flat. So then the upper back touches first, the middle back, lower back, and then the hips. Give your knees a squeeze. Good. Rock side to side. Massage your lower back. Beautiful. Now we're going to bring the knees over to the right. And you can do this with the legs stacked, feet stacked, 90 degrees, and just let them float to the right. Or you can cross your left knee over your right knee and then bring the legs over if you want something stronger. Okay? If you want something less intense, put a block between the knees or maybe under your knees for support. We're just going to be here for a couple minutes. All right, let's begin breathing in and out in our first spinal twist of the class today. Your arms can come into a T. You can hold your left knee down with your right hand. Just make sure you can breathe now that you're relaxed. Good. Reaching the left palm out to the left, fingers face, palm faces up, and fingers are stretching that way. Really open your hand to the sky. Maybe turn your gaze that way. or you're welcome to rock your head side to side. So we're tuning into what feels good, bumping up against tension and stress with compassion, and then learning to be at a place of sweet discomfort, so we're never injuring the body. So medium pressure, that's where we get the benefits. All right, let's bring the knees back to center carefully. We're going to give the knees a squeeze again. Before we go to the second side, you can rock side to side if that feels nice. Massaging the low back and then arms to a T. Maybe you can do the 90-degree angle with your legs and feet, or you can bring your right knee over your left knee first. And then let your knees slowly go to the left. Landing on the ground, use your left knee for support, and use your left hand if you need to hold your right knee in place. Flipping the right palm up, spread your fingers, reach that way. Let's breathe. So sweet discomfort, that's the first principle of Yin Yoga. Finding that medium pressure. Secondly, we become still in the pose. Now, of course, we're breathing, so let your breath go in and out. Pushing up against the tissue with your lungs. Stretching through the intercostal muscles in the ribs again. And wringing out the disc between the vertebrae and the spine. You may also feel this in your chest and neck. All right, we're going to bring the knees back to center. Give the knees another squeeze. And then put your feet flat and bring your block under your sacrum again. Okay, we're going to bring the legs straight up in the air. Okay, so this is a form of Vipariti Karani, legs up the wall just without the wall. And we're elevating the hips to make it easier to keep the legs up. Now again, roll your ankles. See what it feels like now. Good. We're getting the energy flowing through the ankle joints this way. Okay, now let's start to let the legs come towards the face. You can hold onto your block if you're afraid it's going to slip out. And then just let the legs come to where they stop, just like you did in your other forward fold. Now, if you need more pressure, you can lift your hips, push the block up your spine, and then let your arms go. You can straighten one leg, keep the other bent, and then go into the other side, but do everything slowly. Really opening up the back body here. Second forward fold today. Feel free to move your feet and ankles here as well. We're going to stay here for a couple more minutes. So just relax and breathe. You're supposed to feel it. Sweet discomfort is always the goal here. So discomfort means you feel something. If you're feeling it, you're healing it. Just relax and breathe. Only another minute and a half or so. So watch those thoughts saying you can't, and let them go. You're welcome to straighten your legs as well, or even lift the hips higher with using the hands. Letting the toes rest against the mat or the floor above the mat. Don't force anything. Okay, now slowly let your hips come back to the block if they're off. Put one foot at a time on the mat. Nice and slow. And then we're going to squeeze the butt to lift because we want to use the glutes when we're lifting in bridge or just to take the block out. Come back to the mat. Give your knees a hug into your chest. And just for fun, pull the knees towards the shoulders. So you're opening up your knees now. Compressing the front of the hips. And then bring your feet up and see what you can reach without lifting your head or hips off the mat. And then just relax the legs in happy baby, your version. So maybe you're holding the outside edge of your feet, the ankles, or just holding behind the knees with your forearm. Forearms is just another nice way to do this pose. Breathe. Feel your belly expand and relax. Good. Now legs back up in the air. Let's hold on behind the legs and gently rock ourselves up to seated again. And we are going to come just to seated meditation just for a moment and see how you feel. Roll the shoulders again. Beautiful. Take a big cleansing breath. We're going to breathe in through the nose and out with the side through the mouth. Inhale. Good. Body's already feeling good, right? So let's come to kneeling on the blanket, and you can sit directly on your feet, or you can place a block between your feet. Now we're going to set up our bridge, our frog pose rather, by putting a block in front of the blanket. You can stack your blocks on top of each other like that, or you could have two sideways, or one at the top of the mat and one sideways if you're only working with two. If you're using the one underneath your seat, you can move that to your forehead position once we come up. All right, so now we're going to work into the feet. So we're sitting on the feet or sitting on a block between the feet. Let's close the eyes and breathe. You have to find that place where you can relax enough that you can be still, that you can breathe. Good. Opening up the tops of the feet here is so good for your knees too. Now, some people want, if you're sitting on your feet, that is, you might want to lean back, getting a deeper quad stretch here. Maybe the knees come off the floor to deepen the stretch in the front of the ankles. All right, now we're going to stretch into the bottoms of the feet. So we're going to come forward, wiggle the feet around, make sure your knees are on your blanket for support. And roll the ankles in circles like you did when they were upside down. And then turn your toes under and start to crawl back. So you're putting some pressure on your toes now. See how that feels. Your hands can stay in front of you, or you can climb your hands to your thighs. Remember, that's all your body weight on your toes. So please be careful. Make sure you can breathe. Make sure you can stay relaxed. So we're activating all 6 lower body meridians. Those are the meridians that connect with all the organs of the lower body. So go ahead, lift your knees off the floor now. And if this is too difficult, just stay where we were a moment ago. Or you can go up to standing now. And we'll be there in just a few moments. So here's a little squat that stretches out the calf muscles. So we're going to go into our third forward fold here in just a few moments. But first, we're just going to let the head hang if that feels nice. Do what feels good. Maybe move your shoulders a little bit. Rock your chin side to side. Just a little more preparation for our standing forward fold. Now let's roll up to standing. Nice and slow. And then we're going to get the feet hip distance apart. We want to stand behind the blanket. Okay? So feet are hip distance, comfortable stance. Bend your knees, put your elbows on your knees, and tilt the tail up. So it's like the cow pose, right? If we're doing cats, we round the back, and we're doing cow stretches, we're tilting the tail up. Let's keep that tail tilted up, bring the body down. Another 3-minute forward fold. So look at your feet, make sure they're wide enough that you feel comfortable, you feel stable. Spread out your toes and rest them lightly against the mat. And then if you're not dizzy at all in this upside down pose, you can let your head hang. Tuning into what the body needs today. Maybe moving the head around a little, letting the neck. It's a natural traction from gravity. Find your breath here, feel it by your nose again. Tune into your breathing. So if this is too easy with elbows on knees, you can also just simply hang forward, maybe holding opposite elbows or bringing your hands together on your lower back. Getting into the urinary bladder meridian. Again, as we did with every pose so far, back bends, forward folds, spinal twists, all address those urinary bladder meridians are on either side of the spine and all the way down the back of each leg. Okay, we're halfway there already. Keep breathing. We're starting out with the hamstrings here. Good. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Try to keep your chest open so you're not squeezing your shoulders together in front of your chest. One more minute. No big deal. You can bring the weight forward towards the balls of the feet or back towards the heels. You can bend the knees more or less. What feels good today? Use your breath to stay present. Feel it by your nose. Couple more breaths to go. All right, now we're going to crawl forward to downward facing dog. So hands flat, fingers spread out, feet hip distance, and then push your mat forward with your hands like you're trying to push your mat away. That's going to bring your chest between your arms towards your legs. Right? Feel the shoulder blades flat on your back. You can bend the knees to make this a little easier to do. Or you can pump your feet, straightening one leg, bending the other. Go back and forth, shake out your neck. Make sure you're not tightening up your shoulders around your neck. You're going to keep the shoulders down. Good. Feel those calf muscles again. All right, let's put the knees down on the blanket. Put the elbows where the hands were. So now we're getting ready for frog, okay? Slide those knees open on your blanket. Letting your body come down onto your props, keeping your hips between your knees, and then you can bring the blocks right underneath you. Let's see, now I don't even need my arms. If the blocks are underneath bone, you won't need your arms. And then you can use the third block or second block under your forehead. And this is just a 5-minute hold. Our inner rotation, first inner rotation pose. Now your feet are already open on purpose, right, intentionally, so that you could be, you're able here to either point your toes or spread your feet, turn your toes away from each other. Now let your knees decide, right? If you feel pressure in your knees, please be careful. Bring your toes closer together. That'll take that pressure off the knee joint. All right, let's relax. Focus on the breath by the nose. Focus on the sensations of your body and just let the thoughts flow in and out. Keep bringing your attention back to your breath, back to your body, back to the present. Now the breath is different in every pose, so you might not be able to breathe into every part of the 3-part breathing of Dirga. So notice that. But breathe as well as you can, as fully as you can without force. And then breathe out. Try to squeeze the air out gently. And begin again as you purify your system through breath. Now, this is a very simple pranayama that we do in this class that anyone can do. But yesterday I was reading Sarah Power's newsletter and went to her website. What she was saying is pranayama can be dangerous. And what she was talking about was these advanced pranayamas like Vastrika pranayama and things like that, where we're really pulling the belly all the way back towards the spine. And it's kind of a wild looking pranayama. So she talked about studying in India and learning about pranayama there. And that you really want to make sure, if you're taking a course in breathing and pranayama, that it's with somebody that really knows what they're doing, these advanced pranayamas. So just wanted to state that. I thought it was important. She made some good points. Okay, we're halfway through this pose. Let's relax and breathe. 2.5 minutes to go. Addressing the inner thigh tissue, the adductors, and the groin, of course, if you're feeling it there. And then the meridian channels, the place that chi and prana flow, blood, lubrication to the joints. We're working on this on the kidney and liver channels here that are on the inner thigh area of the body. Okay, 90 seconds, keep breathing. Nice steady breath. We want to create a rhythm that soothes and heals the body. Very simple pranayama. Now, if you're interested in taking the blocks out, a little bit of a challenge. If you're feeling pretty comfortable with the blocks in, you can take the blocks out for the final minute, or you can leave them there, elbows under shoulders, maybe keeping a block under your forehead if you'd like. Make sure you continue to breathe. And so if you took the blocks out and you stopped breathing, right? Then put the blocks back in or just crawl forward to your belly. We'll be there in another 45 seconds. Keep on breathing, relax. Feel the pressure. The pressure is the healing. So it should feel like pressure, not pinching or pain or electrical sensation. 30 seconds. So we're practicing ahimsa, non-violence towards ourselves, non-harming. Good, 15 seconds, keep breathing. All right, let's come forward gently onto the belly, nice and slow. Stretch the legs behind you once you land, and then maybe scoot back a little. Turn your head to the right, if you can, facing the right, arms next to your body, palms up, and just let go. Now remember, these are just suggestions. If it doesn't feel right, do something else. Maybe your arms need to be bent, that's okay. Now if you let a little more, if this feels really easy, you can bring your right knee up and turn your gaze, changing the arm position if you need. Good. Turn your head back to the right, bring your right knee down, and then let's turn the gaze to the left with the arms by the sides again, just starting from the beginning here. Check it out. And if that feels easy, you're welcome to bring the left knee up and turn your gaze to the right. Do what feels good with the arms, keep breathing. All right, let's bring the legs together, prop ourselves up on elbows for Sphinx pose. So this is really good for your lower back if you're having low back pain or pressure, sciatica. And then just rock your hips side to side. That feels nice on your sacrum. Good, you can prop your forehead onto a block straight up and down to help relax your upper back. Or you can let your head hang if that feels better. So every day we practice, the body's a little bit different. You can move your head if it's hanging, maybe the chin side to side or the whole head side to side, what feels good. Now plant your hands, if you'd like to go a little bit deeper here into a back bend, plant your hands in front of your elbows, shoulder width, spread your fingers, push the palms down, squeeze your butt, and lift the elbows up. So you're pushing your tail down so we don't overcompress the lumbar. And then lift through your ribs, lift through your chest. Good, do what feels good with your neck. You might want to lift your chin. When you're finished, we're going to go down, no hurry. Place the hands under your shoulders, push up to table, and sit back in child's pose. Bringing the knees to the blanket and gently sit back, bow to your beautiful self. You're welcome to use a block under your forehead. Okay, and then just rest there. Take a few breaths, really feeling the difference in your body already. All right, we're going to come to table. Make sure you have your 3 blocks or 2 blocks at the top of your mat. Come to hands and knees and let's do some cows and cats. Breathing in, tail and chin go up. breathing out, tail and chin go down. Good, hands are flat with the fingers spread out, middle finger forward, knees are hip distance, and just let your breath guide your movements. So use your neck here too. Notice how good your spine feels already. Beautiful. Now we're going to raise the right arm to the sky, breathe in, and slide that right arm behind the left wrist for the second spinal twist today. Thread the needle pose. So make sure that you're comfortable enough that you can relax and breathe. Letting the right shoulder and arm rest against the earth, the right side of your face or head. We'll just be here for 2 minutes. Keep on breathing. Good. You can lift the left arm if you need more pressure on the right. Getting into the rib cage again here. Let's place the left hand down. Sweep the right arm to the sky. And you can sit your hips back a little if that helps you. And then just stretch up. This is the counter pose. And then go back and forth one more time. Right hand down, left hand up. Just opening up your upper back and shoulders a little bit. Take care of your neck. And then switch again, stepping the right foot back, lifting the right arm. And then stepping back with your right foot. Okay, this is easy side plank or supported side plank. You want your left knee under your left hip, left hand under left shoulder, and just let the right arm fall back. So opening the front of the right shoulder now, letting the right side of the neck stretch by letting the head dangle. Good, breathe. Good. The arm can also go over the ear, and you can do whatever feels good with your neck. You can rock it yes and no, or just let it stay still and hang. Use your left toes like a kickstand behind you. A nice side body stretch. Okay, let's come down to table. Right foot steps up between the hands. And we want the hands on either side of the foot. So we want to let the hips come forward until we really feel something in the front of the left hip, not too strong. And then take a block and you can slide it into that wedge in between the floor and the left thigh. All right, then we're going to take our other blocks and get into another back bend by lifting up nice and high. Push your hands down, bring your chest up, and then use your blocks for support. So here your back toes can point, top of the foot on the floor, or they can turn under using your toes. You can use your right forearm on your right thigh instead, so you don't have to use your hand against your block. This is high dragon. So now we're stretching the front of the left hip, the quads and the hip flexors. Keep breathing, nice, slow, steady breaths, whatever feels good. Keep your hips side by side. Shoulders relax. You can roll your shoulders in backward circles. What feels good? And then even do some neck work if you like, turning your gaze side to side. Moving the chin up and down. So do what feels nice here. Maybe just remaining still is where you need to be today. Okay, that's the first minute. Another 90 seconds to go. And this is just another 5 minutes. Feel the breath by your nose. So working into our stomach and spleen channels with this one. Those go across the top of the thigh. It's really good for your lower back, releasing pressure from your lumbar spine. 30 seconds, and then we'll go to our low dragon. We can lean over the right thigh and place the blocks inside the right foot, and then bring the elbows down to your blocks. So the level just depends on your flexibility. You could have these two blocks stacked on top of each other for a higher platform. I have my twos set next to each other. So it's a nice stable platform for my elbows. Walk your right foot out to the right a little bit. That's gonna kind of create more stability in your hips so you're not falling to the left. And we'll be here for a couple of more minutes. Keep breathing. Nice, steady breaths. Good. In with peace, out with what you don't need. Seconds to go. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure you're not tightening up your jaw. So really improving the range of motion of the hip joints with these postures so that your hips can just feel more comfortable. And then if you're doing other types of yoga, you'll just feel your body being able to sink deeper into those postures. It also helps to prevent injury in these areas that we're working. So the tissue we're working on is becoming stronger, more lubricated, and resilient to injury. If you'd like to add winged dragon, you can put your right hand on your right knee and turn your chest to the right, or maybe lift the right arm to the sky if that feels good. Keep on breathing. All right, now let's straighten the arms, and we're going to pull the hips back towards that left heel just until we don't feel any more pressure. Let your front leg straighten a bit, and then just relax, maybe bowing over your right leg, stretching from the heel to the neck as you drop your head forward. Nice, steady breaths. Okay, let's take that right leg back to table, and we're going to place the left knee in the middle of the blanket, and then lift your right leg and tuck your right knee behind the left. Spread the feet, start to crawl back. We're going to put a block underneath the seat if you feel like you might need some support. So we want the knees stacked, left knee over right, and the feet relaxed on the opposite side of the hips, right? So the left foot's on the right, right foot's on the left. And then we can sit on a block or two between the feet. And then let's relax and breathe. So pay attention, see how you feel. Another 5-minute hold here. Staying nice and steady with your breathing, letting your body acclimate to the pose. And we can add in some shoulder work if you would like while you're still up. Bring the right arm up, pat yourself in the back, grab the right elbow with the left hand. So this is Gomukhasana arms, the beginning of the stretch. And this is just a really good way to get into the triceps. I like to tip my head forward for this one. Nice steady breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. When you're finished, just slowly let the arms come down, roll the shoulders backwards. Then we can get into eagle arms if you like. Arms to a T, left elbow under right, palms face each other. Good, nice stretch for the upper back, the tops of the shoulder. Where are you feeling it? Just notice that. Breathing. Working into our upper body, 6 meridian channels, 5 upper body organs, meridians connect with. Nice steady breaths. Now, when you're finished with that, same thing, just roll your shoulders around a little bit. Now, you're welcome to either fold forward here if that feels good to get more pressure in the hips, or you can take a side bend to the left, another lateral flexion like our side plank, using a block under your elbow or maybe 2. Getting into the right side of the neck again like we did in our side plank pose. You can tuck your right hand to make that stretch in the side of the neck stronger. Or you can bring your right arm up to the air, maybe over your head, get deeper into the waist. Find your own way. We only have a couple minutes left. Keep breathing. Listening to your body, watching your mind, feeling the breath today. Now this is our double outer rotations and our IT bands. We're working on our gallbladder meridian, the piriformis muscle that pulls from the glutes to the outside of the thighs. Notice where you're feeling it and take your breath there. Okay, now we're going to take the legs out front. Stretch them out. Shake them out a little bit. Bounce the knees on the mat. Take your time, and then some windshield wipers, feet flat. Side to side. So I want you to move at your own pace here from pose to pose. Take your time. Try to move slow. And then reverse table here. Hands and feet flat. This is another shoulder opener. Feet flat, hands flat. Fingers can face just whatever direction feels right for your shoulders and hands. If this is too strong, you can sit on the mat. Do a modified version, just lifting the chest towards the sky. So squeeze your butt again. Head if it feels nice. Stay as long as you like. When you come down, shake out your hands. Roll your shoulders. Good. Listening to your body. Nice. Get the tension out of the wrist. Pull the shoulders backwards. Okay? And then let's take another cleansing breath. Inhale. All right, let's start the second side of that flow. So blocks back top of the mat so you can reach them. And then start with your cats and your cows. Up and down, nice and slow. Inhale, tail and chin up. Exhale, tail and chin down. Massaging the spine. Back. You could also move side to side if that feels good. Or even circles with your rib cage. All right, let's get into the left side of thread the needle. Left arm goes up and left arm on the floor behind the right wrist. Shoulder down, left side of the face or head. Just relax and breathe here. Good, it's only 2 minutes. So find your edge, let your body acclimate. And find see where you can breathe. You are twisting into the lungs with this one. Stretching through the rib cage again. You can lift your right arm if you need more pressure, maybe thread it behind your back. Do what feels good. Tuning into your body and breath today. Remember, dehydration can make us feel stiff too. So you want to make sure we're getting enough water, even if it's winter. Measure body weight in ounces. You can push down the back of that left arm to create more pressure. Just make sure you keep your right knee nice and solid on the ground so you don't flip over. Just a few more breaths. Bringing out the upper back here, specifically the space between the shoulder blades. Okay, right hand in front of your face. Pull the left arm out and up. See what it feels like right now. And switch sides when you're ready. Left hand down. Right arm up, moving slow like you're underwater. Good, and then switch again. Left arm back to the sky. Feel that stretch. And then step the left foot off of your mat. For the second side of your side plank. Let the left arm fall back. Use your right toes behind you like a kickstand. And then let your head hang. Just stretch into the left side of the mat. Good. You can tuck your left hand behind your back if that feels good to get more of a stretch. But just keep breathing. Pay attention to your breath. Nice. Remember, your arm can also go over your ear. Good. Let your body decide. Good. Now, as you come back to table, big step forward with the left foot this time. Okay, left foot steps up. Maybe your right knee slides back. Whatever feels good. You can place a block in front of your right knee to support that thigh, and then use blocks under each hand to lift the chest into your high dragon position. Okay, 2.5 high, 2.5 low. So remember with this one, you want the hips by side. So as we go into it, one hip doesn't drop lower than the other. Keep them square. Front knee over front ankle. That's just the safest thing for the knee joint. And just relax, turning your back toes under or pointing the toes, what feels best. And if you really get this block in front of your back thigh enough that that back knee might not even touch the ground if that's causing any discomfort there in the joint. Okay. Let's relax. The higher you go, the more intense it's going to be. You could always lean forward for less. Your elbow can rest against your left thigh and forearm. Nice, steady breaths. Keep your shoulders relaxed. You can do neck work here, turning the head up and down, maybe making circles with your chin if you're comfortable enough and your shoulders aren't engaged. Go in both directions if you're doing this. Take steady breaths wherever you are. Just one more minute here in high dragon, working into the right quads and hip flexors now. We're learning how to relax in discomfort, how to be comfortable with discomfort, because life is uncomfortable quite often. We go into a restaurant, it's too cold, it's too loud, the music is horrible or something, you know? That's just a really mild form of the discomfort. I walked in the streets today, it smelled like somebody had been burning rubber. It's horrible, you know? Like, so we learn how to just not use our energy when we don't need to, right? By getting upset over things. Maybe we have to go to the dentist, right? So we can use our yogic breathing and our concentration to be in that very uncomfortable place and to stay calm. That's the idea, is to stay calm here. Let's lean forward, place the block at the foot, and put the elbows down on the blocks. And then you can walk your left. Remember, you can have high blocks or low blocks. Maybe the elbows go all the way to the floor for you. So just don't overdo it. You want to ease into it over time. Okay, a couple minutes to go. Let's be here in low dragon. Do what feels good with your neck. Maybe the head hangs. You can shake it no and yes. Or just let it dangle. You could also use your hands to hold your head up a little bit. If you'd like, you can turn your chest to the left hand on the left knee for winged dragon. Do what feels good. Keep breathing. Now we're going to pull the hips out. Just draw the hips back, letting your front leg straighten a little bit, taking the pressure off of the right thigh. And just bow over your left leg, let your head hang. Keep breathing. Stretching from heel to neck on the left now. All right, let's take that left leg back. We're going to come to our table position, left knee in the middle this time. Whoops, I'm sorry. The right knee in the middle of the blanket. Lift the left leg, tuck the left knee behind the right. Spread your feet out and start to crawl back. Remember, you can slip a block under your seat as you crawl back. Okay, right knee is on top this time for our shoelace. And we want the feet on the outside of the hips, not under them if possible. Lifting up the hips can help with that. Careful there's no pain in the knee. This is another 5-minute hold. So you can roll your shoulders a little bit. Good, what feels good? If you'd like to add that Gomukhasana arm position for the tricep, you can do that here. We'll bring the left arm up, pat yourself in the back, grab the left elbow with the right hand. And I like to tip my head forward to kind of get it out of the way. Do what feels good for you though. Just take a few breaths, stay as long as you like. Yoga is a system, and this is what Sarah Powers was talking about with the pranayama, that we can't just jump into pranayama if we haven't studied the other parts of the system, like the asana and the dharana and dhyana, the concentration and meditation. It can be harmful for the body if it's not prepared for pranayama. Go ahead, let your arms slowly come down. You can roll your shoulders if you like. Then we can get into eagle arms, arms to a T, right elbow under left, palms face each other. Just relax and breathe. Stretching the tops of the shoulders. When you're done, again, just roll your shoulders around. Do what feels good. You can take a side bend to the right here if you like, using a block or two underneath your right elbow. So you're going to lean to the right and just allow the right side of your body to stretch out. That's what we're doing here. We're just allowing, or the left side rather, to stretch all the way from the hip to the neck. And you can keep your arm down. You could tuck it behind your back. You could bring your arm up, maybe over the head, right? We just experiment each time you practice to see what feels right. Tuning into our intuition. And developing it by listening. Okay, we have a couple minutes left. Remember, you can just stay right where you are, or you can fold forward, or go to a seated position and just hang out. What feels good right now? Doing some shoulder and neck work, turning the head. Always feel free to throw the neck work into any of these postures. Keep breathing. All right, we're gonna bring both legs out front and just stretch them out. Bounce the knees gently on the mat. See what it feels like. Put your feet flat, knees tip side to side, windshield wipers. It's a good way just to loosen up the knees and the hips. After all that, then we'll take our second reverse table, hands and feet flat. Lift and squeeze. Remember, your fingers can face any direction. Good. Let your head drop if it feels nice. Keep breathing. Nice, slow, steady breaths. When you're done, shake out your hands a little bit. Rolling your wrists around. And come into seated meditation pose. Roll your shoulders backwards. Okay, let's take a big cleansing breath together. Inhale. Okay, one more set of postures, and you might want to sit up on a block for your half frog. So you can sit on your block. You're going to straighten the left leg and pull the right foot back to half frog position. Okay, so we've already worked the quads, we've worked inner rotation, we've worked the feet. So hopefully your body's prepared. We've done lots of forward folds for the left side. I like to hold my right ankle and turn my right knee out because we want this foot to stay in this position, right? We don't want the toes turning out. Now, if you're not sitting on a block, you'll probably sit on the inside of the foot. Just make sure the heel's outside of the hip. Little stretch in the inner thighs, right? Frog pose. This is half frog. You can put a block behind your left knee. And again, just like in our second pose actually, which was butterfly, make sure you're not rounding your back. You don't want to tilt your tail under like this, right? So keep your shoulders back. If you are going to fold forward, bring your ribs forward. Okay, we're just a 3-minute hold here. Here at the end of our practice, you can put your elbows on a block in front of you. You can lean to the left to take pressure off the right side, or just simply stay seated. Good, nice steady breaths. Let your body melt into it wherever it stops. Prop yourself there. Just relax and breathe. Practicing ahimsa, that means non-harming towards yourself, towards others, towards the planet. Nice steady breaths. Breathe in peace, breathe out stress. There's lots of things happening in this one. Opening at the top of the foot, the knee, inner rotation with the right thigh, quads, the hamstrings. So it's also a forward fold for the spine, but just depends on how far you're into the forward fold. Right? If you're feeling something somewhere, that's the part of your body that's tight that we're healing right now. We're more than halfway. Keep breathing. We always want to remember, it doesn't matter how far we go or what it looks like, what we feel in the pose is what's important. So working at our edge is going to help develop our mind-body connection, our body awareness.
our Dharana in Dhyana. Just a couple breaths. All right, now when you come out, if you can, grab your right ankle and guide your leg out. Just be safe with your knee. Let it slowly straighten. Relaxing, maybe rocking your foot side to side carefully. And then you can also bounce that right knee if that feels good. Loosen it up a little bit. And then we'll get to the second side. So again, if you want to sit on the block, just put it underneath your seat. You could do 2 blocks if you need a little more support. This time the right leg will be straight. And we'll pull the left foot back to that inner rotation. Okay. So if you're on the block, make sure you can turn your knee out, or you can also slide your right leg away if it's too hard to move the knee, and you don't even have to move the knee. Right? If you just get into it first and it's like, that's enough, stay there. Turning the knee out might make it easier, but it also might make it stronger. All right, 3 minutes, our last hip opening pose today. Second inner rotation. So we doubled up on many of our directions of the hips today, sometimes tripled and quadrupled. So with the forward folds, we did a lot of forward folds today, a lot of back bends, a couple of spinal twists. We did 2 double outer rotation. So 10 minutes in outer rotation. And then the inner rotation, this is the second one, frog and half frog. So your body is nice and open today. Make sure you drink lots of water after class. Try not just to get still right after this. If you could take a walk, that's great. Just keep moving a little bit so everything can acclimate and kind of assimilate into your system. Okay, let's keep breathing. We're almost 1 minute in. We've got 2 to go. Find the place of sweet discomfort where the muscles can relax, where you can breathe still. Thirty seconds, keep breathing. Okay, now remember when you take that foot out, do it carefully. And stretch the legs up. Bounce the knees if you like. Take care of that left knee. Be careful. And come to seated meditation. This is a good counter pose for the inner rotation. Good. We're going to place the blocks on the floor like we did beginning of class. And then roll the shoulders, shake the hands, just loosen up anything that might feel tight. And then let's take a big cleansing breath together. Inhale. All right, we're going to lay back for 3 minutes, getting a nice opening in the chest. So put your block behind your chest. Block behind the head again, just like beginning of class. And do what feels good with the arms and legs. Close your eyes. Be still and know. We want to know who we are, right? What our powers are, what our strengths are, what our gifts are, what our purpose is. Let those things just rise up in your consciousness. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be. So swallow to relax your throat. Let your jaws part. Relax your eyes and your forehead. Let your face melt. Let your shoulders and arms relax. Belly and chest get soft. And let the hips and legs get heavy again. Feel them on the mat. And just let go for the next couple of minutes. No place to go, nothing to do. Just practice being now. Be the witness to your thinking, to your sensations, to your body and breath. So without moving, just start to deepen each breath and feel your body expand. Feel your body relax. Stay tuned into your breath as you move out into your day. Let's skim the thoughts, skim the thumbs across the thumbs across the fingertips, and feel your sensations, right? We're more tuned into the body now. We want to stay that way as we move out into the world. Stretch the arms to the sky again and over the head. See if it feels any different after the shoulder work that we've done. Just let the arms hang for a few breaths. And then slide the feet flat so the knees are pointing up. And this time let the knees fall to the left and just roll off down to your left side. Resting on the left side of your body. Feel the earth below supporting you. And then push into the floor when you're ready, coming up slowly. Seated meditation, so we can close our practice out today. And just be still for a moment, seated meditation, noticing how you feel. Feel your sit bones on the earth. Feel your breath by your nose and place your hands in the Anjali Mudra position again, prayer position. Close your eyes and thank yourself for being here. Thank you, body. And tell your body that you love it just the way it is, right here today. Yata Bhuta, as you are. Good. And let's seal this in with a soft, sweet Om. Breathe in. Om. And one more cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Remember, the light in you and me is what connects us. Until we meet again, namaste. Thank you for being here today. I hope you enjoyed the practice. Remember to drink lots of water and get a little bit more movement if you can. From Dexter and I. Namaste. Have a great day.